What we have covered in our complete Ansible classes, we have already covered the Ansible overview, the Ansible setups, installations, and everything with Ansible.crg file management, inventory file management. Along with, we learned some advanced topics, right? How to use a Jinja template and how to use variables, which is most important. And also, we saw how we can use loopings, conditions, and everything, right? With that, also, we saw how we can use the ad hoc commands, right? Ad hoc commands and how we can use manage the inventory file. So far, whatever demo we have done, only the single server or max two servers we have done, right? Sometimes what will happen, not sometimes, in your organization, your company, you will be working with dealing with multiple servers, right? So that's why I always tell the inventory management, the inventory file management is most important, and you should know how to use wisely the inventory files and all the server setups, all the variable setups, right? How you have to do it. Suppose you are dealing with 50 servers, right? All 50 servers, few servers would be from cloud service provider, cloud domain, and few could be from the on-premises, right? And you should know how to use that with all these security details, all the connectivity, and all kind of variable passing sports, everything. Need to know how to do that. With that, you also should know how to, right, what do filtrations, groupings, everything, right? That you should know how to do that in the inventory file. So I already have shared you the inventory file link, the documentations. Go through that Ansible document. It has given everything with example, right? As I always said, like, you have to follow the documentations whenever you are just working something, because the tools, the technologies keep upgrading, right? So what have to do, they have to just upgrade their documentations as well, and you have to follow their documentations, right? Okay, that's apart from that, just leave it. Now what we are going to do today, we'll see a complete project, a simple but complete project, a Java applications, which we are going to do the deployment. So before deployment, we have to do some installations, some setups, configuration management, and then we'll do the deployment, right? Now, I'll just ask a question. Can anybody of you tell me what is Ansible and what is being used for? What is Ansible? Let's have a discussion there now. What is Ansible? Anyone can tell. Guys, anyone, whoever knows, whatever answer, you can just tell
It's
me.
an automation software. We can also use for deployments, but we prefer Jenkins. But you and told in first class can we can also use it for CI and CD. For CD it.
Not CI, exactly. Don't do the mistake. Not CI. CI is only being used by the Jenkins and other Jenkins related tools. CI tools is totally different. Ansible, in a simple statement, you can just tell, if suppose I am the interviewer and I'm asking questions, right? If I feel like something like PC and something like I need to know, like, whether you know really what is the tool being used for. If somebody asks you what is Ansible, or I'm asking you what is Ansible, you have to just tell the crispy and the basic answers with very one line. And if you one line answer also, if you tell, but that answer should be specific to that particular tool. Suppose, what is Ansible? Ansible is an open source tool which being used for con- configuration management and continuous deployment. Configuration management and continuous deployment. Also, it being used for server provisioning also, right? Infrastructure automations also being used for, but basically it is being used for configuration management and continuous deployment. So the next question the interviewer might ask you, where have you used Ansible in your project, and in which scenario? Where have you used Ansible in your project, and in which scenario, right? In Or simply can ask in which scenario you have used Ansible and why you use there, right? So you have to answer like, see, um, we have used Jenkins to do the continuous integration, continuous build. So once the application is built, it generates the binary file, the var or jar or er or whatever, based on the technology you use. If Java, it will be jar or var file. So that we need to deploy, we you just have to elaborate this with some kind of answers like you have done yourself, right? Suppose you can tell we have three application server, and once the application is built by the Jenkins, it's being delivered to a Nexus repository, to a binary repository, and from there we use Ansible to deploy that particular artifact or the binary file to the three application servers. So we write our playbooks to do that. In case suppose, and you can just do those elaborations like that. And we have used these three, this Ansible to deploy our applications to these three application server, along with also some DB deployment, and have done lots of other things like if new server comes, configuration management, installations of new packages, and all these things we used to do in Ansible. Simple. So you can just elaborate with how. First, that's three things I used to tell you, right? What is Ansible? Why it is being useful, and how you have to implement it. If you know these three things, then it will be easy for you, right, to understand. Okay, now let's move ahead and to do the project. As I said, we are going to do a small project, small Java project, and I'll just explain you everything how that project can be deployed continuously to the deployment server or to any server, right? So let's go ahead. I have a project created with this very simple project today. I'll tell you, and also today I'll try to finish up the Ansible Galaxy and the Ansible Vault. Those two things I'll cover it today also after this project is done. Right. So let me quickly go ahead to the Ansible default directory. So remember, the Ansible default directory will be once you install the Ansible, it will be under etc Ansible, right? So let's go there, and I have a project called very simple tomcat.yaml. I've written very small uh, uh, tomcat.yaml. Okay, so it's a playbook which I'm going to show you how the playbook is written. So first, let me tell you the requirement. The requirement is I have a Java applications, like the company, the team has a Java application, and that applications you need to deploy to a Tomcat server, to a Tomcat server in a different, in a new virtual machine, to a Tomcat server in a new virtual machine. That means what we'll have a virtual machine, we'll have a cloud machines or server where we have to install Tomcat to make that machine as a Tomcat server, right? The requirement is that for that, what do you need? So, because our Java application that will be deployed into the Tomcat server, that will be deployed into the Tomcat server, and for that, as the Java applications, we should install Java there first, right? Because applications are built in Java, and we have to install Java. After that, we have to download and install Tomcat server. Then we have to create some directories, some links, some setups, and then we'll copy some required library or binary files, and then we have to copy the application file or the binary file to the Tomcat server. Then we can start the Tomcat server. So this is the requirement, and you have to write the script, right? So here is the script. What happened here? I have written the task here. This playbook, this play particular having multiple tasks. So just try to understand one task. Okay, first, what is written here? First thing, as I said, it's a Tomcat server and Java application. I'm going to install Java. For that, what you need? You have to get the module, right? Which module is required? How to get this module? You can get it from the module page, right, of the document. If you are not sure about, if you are already practiced, if you are already experienced in Ansible, have done multiple playbooks, have written multiple, definitely you will automatically get remembered these modules. If you are new to this and doing practice, or new to this work writing the playbook, where you have to follow, go to the documentations, and there you'll find all the module details with examples, right? Already I have told you many times. Now what you can do here, we have this yum package manager. Why a yum package manager? Because my server is a Amazon Linux machine, and that's also CentOS or Red Hat machines you can use for this yum package manager. If your machine, node machine, where you are going to deploy to be Ubuntu, then you should go with apt package manager, apt, right? So for the time being, we are using this yum package manager. Name, what is the package name? For this package manager, this is the Java 1.8 version name. And for that, state, you know well, right? If you want to install, it should be present or installed, or what? Present, installed, and you can just go to the Ansible module page, right? Go to the Ansible module page here. So go to the yum package manager. There you'll find the state, what you want to do it, right? Go to the state here. So present, installed, on latest. And when to use present and installed, and when to use latest, when to use absent and remove, you have to follow this particular page, right? And you have to remember all this. Now that is what I have written, present to install Java. So you understood this task. Now the rest of the task I'll just go through a little fast. Okay, so here I'm going to use another module called group, and this module also you can find it over here, right? So group module, add or remove groups. Okay, so what it does, I'm just going to create a group, name is tomcat, in the machine, right, in the Linux machine. Now the group name equal to tomcat, simple. Here I have written Ansible built in, and you normally have to write all this. Either you can directly write yum as a module, or you can write the complete module name, right? Here I have just written directly group. And here, after this, I'm going to create user account. Here I created a group. Now I'm going to create one user. The username also tomcat, and that user I'm going to add into tomcat group and become to, means method root, as a root user. You have to create this. It's clear. Now let's move on to the next one. Now here I have used one more module, which is get underscore URL, get underscore URL, to download. Now what happened, I just installed the Java, right? So our Java part installations is done. Then we will work on the tomcat. So first we created the group, we created the user. Now what we have to do, we have to just download the tomcat package, right? We have to download the tomcat package from the server. So how you'll download it, that you need to know how to download this. Let's go to the module. If you're not sure about, see, download files from http, https, and ftp to know. So you have to use this get URL module, right? So I have used this getter, go through these parameters, whatever the parameters is required, right? And if I just go here, same get URL module, I have just used the URL from where you want to download. So this is the entire URL. To, I'm using this Apache Tomcat 7.0.61 version of Apache. So after, so what you have to do, you have to check the URL which you are going to download, and you have to provide the destination parameter where you have to copy, right, where you have to download it. Now under this OPT folder, I'm just downloading this. Okay, now after we download this file. This is a tar.gz compressed file, right? Archived and compressed file. So what do you have to do? We have to unarchive or extract the file, right? Extract the archive. For that, I'm using command module, right? This command module, you can also find it from the module sections. I'm not going to show you again. Let's go here. After this command module, uh, command just using parameter change directory, changing directory you just there, and bin tar. This is a command. Okay, bin tar. This is a command, and this is the option xbf to extract this archived file. To extract this archived file, and once it is this is the path where the archived file is given, and here this folder where you are going to create this particular file, this name. Once this file is created, I am going to use the file module to create a symbolic link. To create a symbolic link. So symbolic link, symlink, what is that? Can anybody tell you? This is kind of Linux things. If anybody can tell me, that will be great. What is this symlink? If you not understand, see, whatever I'm just telling you guys, if you don't understand, if you feel that is new, right, you don't know that, just tell me, right? I'll just explain you what is that. What is symlink? Can anybody tell me? This is actually a term of Linux and Unix machine, and similar also there in Windows also. I'll tell you what is that. What is symlink? Okay, should ask me. Okay, so symlink is something like in Windows, right? Sorry, just a second, I'll get some water. Okay, so symlink is like in Windows, right? We create shortcuts, right? You might have created many times. Whenever you install any applications or created anything, you used to create a shortcut to the desktop. From there, you click it. That means your the original file will be somewhere, but you created a shortcut to the desktop item, and from there, if sometimes if you delete also the shortcut, the original file will be there. Same concept in Linux itself is creating a symbolic link. That means your original file will be here, and this particular path source, and you are giving a path where the symbolic link means shortcut to be created as a name as tomcat. The entire path is here with the file name, but it will create under this user share, and file name will be tomcat. State is link. It will be soft link or symbolic link. If you want to create a hard link, it should be written hard, and that will be a different, like what is symbolic link and what is a hard link. That is totally different. That's a good differentiate between is there in Linux, when to create hard link and when to create a soft. We'll discuss it later sometimes. Okay. Now, so we used file module to create a shortcut or symbolic link in Linux. Now, same things we are going to, after we create a symbolic link, then what we do, we need to change the permissions, change the ownership, right? Permission or ownership. So again, same file command we used, path, and the owner we provided as tomcat, group also tomcat, right? Same command in Linux. What is the command? Ch own, ch own, which will change the ownership, right? Same thing we are using the file module in Ansible to change the ownership to tomcat and group to tomcat, right? State is directory. Now, after the file is created, then what happens? I'm just simply copying, sorry, It just got disconnected. ATC Ansible. Okay. So after it is done, what is there? I'm just using copy module to copy a file. Using copy module to copy a file. So uh, first thing, as I said in automations, right? You should understand the requirement very well. If you understand the requirement very well, then it will be easy for you to write the code. Everything, whatever task is written here, is one of the requirement, right? The requirement is to create and install tomcat. For installing tomcat, what sort of things task you should do? What you should do when you install manually, and thus that same stops you have to write in this code to do automations. That's all, right? After installations, what you need, you have to copy the file. So what happened here? I'm just copying this particular etc ansible demo.txt to webapp folder. Demo.txt, right? Let's see whether demo.txt file is available here or not. Demo.txt. I think it's there. Nothing is there. Let me just write something here. This is just a demo file. This is just a demo file. Okay, just what is this? Okay, not sure it is talked right. Maybe let me just okay. This is just a demo. I'm not sure what it is. Demo file. This is just a demo file. Let's save this one. Okay. What I did here, I just wrote a YAML file, wrote a playbook, right? The playbook name is tomcat.yaml. This is my playbook, and now I need to execute. Okay. Before that, so I'm just copying a file, and then after that, I'm using cell module to start the tomcat server. After that, we are going to start the tomcat server. Okay. Now let's do one thing. What you can do here, let's remove this start tomcat. I'll show you later. If I just go here, let's remove this tomcat server. Saved here, right? What you can do here, after this tomcat playbook is written, and I have a demo server here. I have created a server here. Is it instances, right? I need this to be added, right? Let's copy this one. So where I have to add, I need to add into the inventory file, right? So what is our inventory file name? Last class we had changed. What is our inventory file name? What is the
My
default?
inventory.
Yeah, this is my inventory, right? The default inventory name is hosts. So we had changed it to the my inventory, right? Let's copy. Okay. So we have this lamp server, we have this web server and all. Now I had copied the IP addresses, right? Let's remove this and paste the IP addresses, whatever I copied. Sorry. I need to copy this IP address. Let's copy. Go here. Done. Right. So as I said, once you add new server or machine to the inventory file, what should you do? You should first ping the server, right? You should first ping the server. What is the command? Can anybody tell quickly? Tell me what is the command. I think you guys are not doing practice, right? Ansible -m ping and web server, right? This is the group which I'm going to do. The first thing it will ask for the, so it is success. Now the connectivity from the control machine, from the Ansible to the node machine, we have a connectivity to that machine, right? We have established the connectivity. So now you know very well how to set up this connectivity using the private key. I think Mani is not in the class. He has already done the setup. He has already shared me the screenshot. I think Mani and Fashion, few people are working. Other people, I don't see anybody is doing some practice or anything, right? No, I'm not seeing any questions. I'm not seeing any kind of things from them. So do practice, guys. If you don't do practice, nobody can help you to learn. You have to learn by yourself only. I'm just guiding you, showing you the path, and you have to take it forward, right? As I always tell you. So just do practice. I know problems are there everywhere, but you have to do practice. Now the ping success. Now let's execute the playbook. I'll just do the Ansible hyphen playbook. What is the playbook name? Is tomcat.yaml. Let's hit enter. What happens with this error? Please tell me what actually you should tell now. What is the error and where to fix it? Anyone can tell, please. I already have told this same scenario knowingly two times, I believe. Last classes, I already have shown you this. What and where I have to change, where I have to change and what I have to change.
Sir, in inventory, we have to change it to web server.
Exactly. So here the play is targeting to the UI server. But in our playbook, if I just open our playbook, right, it is given as UI server in the playbook. So two places you can change. Either you can change in the inventory file or you can change in the playbook. But the inventory file, if you change, there will be a problem because the group will not have only single server, right? It might have multiple other servers, or it will have multiple other playbooks also. You have might have other playbooks which will be targeting web server, but your single playbook will have targeting to a different server. So where you have to better to change to the playbook. You have to change the playbook. You have to change inside the playbook. You have to give the web server the group name, not the inventory directly. So if you are doing a small demo and all things, both side you can do the changes, it will work. But mostly you have to do the changes into the playbook. Okay, so why I'm saying, because if I just check the my inventory, we have the group name as web server or lamp server. Web server we have this IP address we added. But in our playbook, we have given tomcat. In tomcat playbook, we have given UI server. Right? Let's change this in the playbook. I'll change it to web server. Done. Saved it. After that, what we have to do? Let's execute the playbook. Ansible playbook tomcat. Hit enter. Yes. Now it's working perfectly. First task is to install Java. Right? So it's installing the Java 1.8. Just wait for a few seconds. It will install and give us the result. Okay. See, we have 8 changes, right? Changed item 8, all okay. Copied file also. Ownership change. This task symbolically created, extract completed, download completed, user created, group created, everything. All completed with successful logs, right? Now everything, there is no failure. Okay. So what we can do now? Now let's go ahead and check whether this tomcat is installed or not. So to check whether it is installed or what we can do, we can just do the fact Ansible fact checks, right? Package fact to check whether it is installed or not. But in our case, we are just going to see whether the package is installed and copied the file or not. Let's log into the server. Let's log into the server. So I'll just log into the another server here. Suppose different color. Let's choose. I'll choose SSH -I. Done. Sorry. So it's once it is done here, what we have to do? First thing is to just update it, right? Let's go ahead where we had copied the file as per the playbook where we had copied this into the user shared tomcat folder, right? User shared tomcat folder, and this demo.txt is copied to user shared tomcat web apps folder, right? Let's go to that folder, to the server, cd user share tomcat. See, it is created, right? It is created, and we have also, if you see these files, that means our tomcat is installed, right? Now it's a web app folder is there. Let's go to the web app folder here, and here you will see the demo.txt file is copied. Demo.txt file is copied, right? Now this is simple demo.txt file. But what is a web server actually? What is a tomcat server? It will host your web application, right? It will host your web application. Now let's do the same changes, but real Java application we are going to deploy now. I simply, instead of copying this, I simply copied demo.txt. But I want my applications to run. Okay. Now we installed tomcats and everything, right? Now if I just want to start the tomcat server, what you have to do, you have to go to the file bin directory, cd bin, okay, and what you have to do here, you have to use this catalina.sh or startup.sh for Unix or Linux machine, and if you're using Windows machine, you can use startup.bat, okay, to start the server. Now I'm just using catalina.sh, right? Just use catalina.sh start. Okay. So it says Catalina out is not able to do that. So okay, let's see. It's not able to touch this output. That means permission denied. That's okay. But let's see whether it has created the. If Java is not installed, then you cannot start the service. Okay, Java should be installed. In our case, we already have installed the Java, right? Let's see what is the Java version is installed. If I check Java version, see 1.8 Java version is installed. Okay. Now what we can do here, Java is installed. Now let's see whether this how to access the server. Let's copy this IP address, and the default port of Tomcat server. Remember, guys, that will be very important whenever you will be working on Java application and deploying into the Tomcat server. The default port number is the default port number is 8080, right? So let's hit enter. What is Sage? The site cannot be reached. The site cannot be reached. That means our Tomcat server is not up. It has not started, right? So what you can do here, as you can see here, we got some permission denied and all this, right? So what you have to do, let's make yourself a sudo su, okay, and start this tomcat server. Let's see whether it is starting or not. Catalina.sh and start. Okay. Yes, what is age? Tomcat is started, right? Tomcat is started with the root user. Now let's go ahead, refresh this. See, our Apache Tomcat version 7.0.61 is up and running now. So it's completely started. Now, this is how we installed our Tomcat server. We installed Java Tomcat server. Now let's deploy the applications. Let's deploy the applications. So I have simply kept a small applications here. Okay, the real applications, small but real applications. Okay, let's go to Ansible folder here, Ansible, and here I have a var file. It's called loginwebapp.var, and this is actually built as part of the Jenkins. This file is built as part of the Jenkins. So don't worry, guys. In our final end-to-end project, right, I'll show you how we can integrate this Ansible. Again, I already have a videos created for this, how to integrate Jenkins and Ansible. I'll share that one also. You go through and do the complete. First things you have to set up. Those who have already completed the Jenkins classes, right? I think everyone have completed the Jenkins classes. Just to go ahead, build this project, and you know very well where the applications, where the project will be, right? In my GitHub account, there will be a project, Java project. In my repository you'll find as login DevOps, right? So login web app. See, login web app. You can just fork this one. You just fork this one. Okay. Once you fork it, you'll find lots of branches I've created. So you can just see whatever the branches is okay for you. You can just use this one to build in your Jenkins. Okay. In your Jenkins, you can build it. Okay, that is the project. Now that project I have already built in Jenkins, and I have kept this var or artifact file here. So what I can do here now is disconnecting all the time. Okay, Ansible. Now I have this login web app var there. Okay, so can any one of you tell me my new requirement? Whatever we covered last 1 hour, I'm just talking whatever we just covered, right? What changes is required to be done for this requirement? I want this particular artifacts or binary file to be deployed into the Tomcat server in Ansible. What and where I have to do changes? Can quickly tell? Anyone should be fine. Fajan, can you tell me where I should write this one and what should I do to deploy this?
Sir, we will
What?
copy this in Tomcat file, I think.
Perfect. That's the answer. We have to copy this file to the Tomcat web apps folder. Okay. So what you have to do? Let's get this login web app.war file, right? Open the playbook, and what you have to do? You have to just copy the same file for that, right? Let's do that. Sorry, I have to make ourselves as root bi tomcat. So what I need to do name copy the var file. Copy the var file. Copy source will be source equal to etc Ansible and the var file name login web app.var. So where we have to copy to the web apps folder, right? Let's destinations. So we have to where to get this information. source and destination is the parameter for the copy module, right? So where to deploy? Destination equal to, let's copy this particular user, say tomcat web apps. Done. Login web app.com. So I just want to copy this one. Now let's save this file. Let's save this file. Okay. Now what I have to do? I have to rerun the playbook. So now the question for you. See, every bit whatever I'm telling could be one of the interview questions, and it should be real time only. Now I did some changes to the playbook. Obviously, I have to rerun the playbook to do the same changes, right? To make that effect works. My question is, if I run this playbook now, what will happen? Quickly tell me. Now, if I play this, run this playbook, because in my this playbook, this particular playbook file, right? YAML file, I have multiple other tasks are there. So if I rerun this, what will happen? Those tasks also rerun, right? What's the answer? My question is, what will happen if I rerun this playbook file? Whether this task will run or not. Again, it will install,
No, I
again, it
think
will
only
deploy and all, right?
copy
What
task
will
will.
happen?
Yes.
Sorry?
I think only the copy task will be done. Rest of the tasks are already done.
Okay. Rest of the tasks are already done. So, how, another question, how Ansible will know that these tasks are done? How Ansible will know these tasks, whatever is written in the playbook, are done? These are the real time questions. Okay, tell me. Okay. So,
I think we
based
can
on the
set the state now. If state is changed, then Ansible. I think.
okay, you are just coming to closure, but not the exact answer it is. So it checks the facts. Ansible underscore facts I used to tell you, right? The package underscore fact. So the Ansible facts, it will check the system facts whether these packages are installed and copied or not. If it finds it's already copied, and it first checks then whether the things whatever is installed or we are going to install newer version, that will be. So if it is already installed, then it will be 80. Hit in. So you can see here we have only two changes. One is the group ownership changed, and another is copy war file. This file was already copied, so okay. But now this is changed. Now war file is copied and deployed. Rest of, see, only two changes, nothing else. One change is the war file which we copied, and the other one is the ownership changes that will be automated. That will be done all the time because we have written the command, right? That will be executed. Sorry, ownership changes, right? Command. So it will be done all the time. Now copied one, the rest removed. Let's go ahead and check whether it is done or not. If I just go to the tomcat server here, let's refresh this, and here application name, login web app. See, my application is, this is actually one of the Java application, but in backend also we have a database. So today I just explained you how the Java applications you did the configuration management and did the deployment, right? With all the changes. So in our next class, I'm going to show you with the database server also. We'll have another server where we'll install database, and that server will merge with these applications, and we'll see how it gets connected. How it get connected. We'll have a UI server and we'll have a separate database server, and we'll see how it is gets created. And you can see here we can register ourselves and we can like, log into the server also. All these things we can do that. Okay, before that, let me just go ahead and complete the advanced concept of Ansible Galaxy and Vault. Well, for that, I have just kept this database part separate, because for the database part we should know the Vault to understand. Because see, whenever you are using database, the security is the most concern there, right? Most concern is security. How you have to secure your data, how you have to secure your credentials, whatever you're using, database credentials, because that was very, and that also vary different to different systems. It's not like the equal and all. How it is in a simple way, how this sensitive informations we can store by using Ansible Vault. By using Ansible Vault. Okay, two things let's learn. I think I have not opened Ansible. Okay, Ansible Galaxy. Where is the vault? Here is the Ansible Vault. Okay, first let's talk about the Ansible Vault, and then we'll talk about Ansible Galaxy. So we'll just cover theoretical these two concepts: what is Vault and what is Ansible. And in the next class, we'll do the again another project with all this setup. Okay, another project with all this setup with a database, adding a database inside it. Okay, all these things will do a final project. Now, this Ansible Vault, right? And before that, okay, after this Ansible Vault, if before you want to do yourself practice, I'll share some link video, YouTube link which I have prepared. You can already just go through that and just do the practice. And next class, we'll do the live demo how we can create the end-to-end project with Ansible. Okay, what is Ansible Vault? Vault is used to encrypt values and data structures within Ansible project. Within Ansible project. So that's why the sensitive information that we cannot keep as it is in the playbook, right? Anyone can read it. How we can hide those and encrypt those data? How we can encrypt those sensitive informations, we'll see using Ansible Vault. So Vault is used to encrypt values and data structures within the Ansible project, and it provides the ability to secure any secrets, ability to provide any secrets or sensitive data that is necessary to run Ansible plays successfully. Okay. So successfully, but should not be publicly visible. Should not be publicly visible, such as private keys and password. That means private keys, passwords, tokens, all these things, right? These are the sensitive informations and should not be visible publicly. You can use Ansible Vault to encrypt those data. Ansible automatically decrypt the vault content at runtime when the key is provided. So once we encrypt using this vault, if you execute the playbook with these informations, it will automatically decrypt the data and do the deployment, and the application will work. If you see this particular diagram, right, what it does, this particular vault is installed for this particular is used to deploy all these applications or the secure information will be stored under your vault. Okay. Ansible Vault is a command line tool. In other word, you can say Ansible Vault is a command line tool which is used on the Ansible server to do this task. Whatever I just told you here, everything I have just written here in point. Encrypt an existing important file, decrypt an encrypted file, view an encrypted file, edit, create, and rekey. These six informations it does encrypt, it does decrypt, it view the encrypted file, it edit, you can edit the encrypted file, you can create a new file, rekey means whenever you create a vault you have to key it, right? So if you forget that key you can rekey this one, or you want to change the key you can rekey this one, or rekey or reset. Okay, these are the things. Now how does the Ansible vault works? You need to understand how the vault works. Ansible Vault does not implement its own cryptographic function, but it uses an external Python toolkit. The entire Ansible is written in Python, right? So the Vault is also use Ansible external Python toolkit. So you must have Python in your system, which is also prerequisite for working Ansible environment. Files are protected with symmetric encryption using AES-256 with a password as the secret key. AES-256 with a password as the secret key. And using the Ansible Vault with option edit will always rewrite the file and can create issues when you have some version control system the same file. Better to use option view. So whenever you want to see the key, don't go for Ansible, edit option. Don't go for edit option. Edit will rewrite the file. Always go with views. I'll show you. These are the commands you can use. Very simple. Just make a note of this command or take a screenshot. No worries. I'll share the video. Everything will be there. So you can just make a note of yourself. Okay. To create a vault, and these things I'll show you in the demo also next class. Don't worry about that. To create a vault you have to use Ansible -vault create and the vault file name, the vault name you have to give it. And to edit, same Ansible Vault is the command edit. To reset the password it will be rekey. To encrypt, to decrypt, view, all these things. Okay, you can check it. Now if you want to see all these things, don't worry about that, make a note. Even though I'll send the videos, you will find it out. Also tomorrow classes, not tomorrow, next classes I'm just going to show you how these things can work. Okay, you are clear about this Ansible Vault. Now let's move on to Ansible Galaxy. Okay. Why to use Ansible Galaxy? These are advanced topics, Vault and Galaxy. Okay, why to use Ansible Galaxy? So we have this particular Ansible Galaxy. Whatever we have done so far, single user, right? Single deployment, single user, single deployment we have done, not multiple users, multiple deployments. So Ansible Galaxy is helpful to create roles based on the role-based executions. You can say role-based executions you can perform. So actually, it is a tool. Again, Ansible Galaxy is a web-based web tool also. Ansible Galaxy is a Galaxy website where users can share the roles and to a command line tool for installing, creating, and managing the roles. And it gives greater visibility to one of the Ansible's most existing features. Lots of people share the roles in Ansible Galaxy. Ansible roles consist of many playbooks and all. I just don't go with this, you'll get confused. I'll tell you once you do the examples and practice that, you'll understand. Okay, so whenever you create the roles, right, it will By default, folder structure will be like this. By default folder structure, it will create task, it will create handlers, it will create defaults, vars, files, templates, and meta. With all these meanings, task contains the main list of the tasks which need to be executed by the role. So we can suppose, in our case, suppose we have these Java applications have a database of MySQL. So what we can do, we can create two roles. One is the for Java Tomcat role, and another we can create MySQL role, UI role, and the database role. That too can be created, right? So based on the role, it will be executed. We'll see how it is done, right? The task folder contains and the handler folder contains the all handler related informations, defaults, vars, variables, files, all files via this role, templates, metadata, the information about that. How to create this? Simply you have to use Ansible Galaxy init, Ansible Galaxy init, and the role name, and the role name. It will create all these roles. It will create all these roles. Now let me show you this demo of this role, how to create it, and this particular things we can create, right? Okay. Now I'm showing you how to create the roles using Ansible Galaxy. But next class, I'll show you how we can create these same roles but manually. You should know the both the things using Ansible Galaxy tool, how we can create the roles and how manually you can create the roles. Okay. Now, simply if I just go to this Ansible folder here, okay, let's log into this folder. Sorry, cd Ansible. Okay. Now what I can do is Ansible Galaxy. Okay. Init initialize, right? Role name. I can give demo B9 suppose. Enter. What is age? Role demo B9 was created successfully. Role one role is created. Under this role, let's see what are the details are there. If I choose LS narrative, we have a role folder created demo B9. Let's go to this demo B9. See, these are the folders: tasks, vars, tests, defaults, meta, handlers, files, templates. All these things are created. And most of the times you don't need actually all these things. If I just go to this task folder, this is a folder structure. It will have one main.yaml file. And in this main.yaml file, we'll have the main playbook will be written here. Playbook will be written here. And all variables will be stored. So in our last class, the variables I told you to show you, I just showed you in the playbook how to store these files and all. So next demo, I'll show you how to store this in a different files as a group vars, group underscore vars. That will be most important concept. Group vars, right? Group host, group vars. You have to use it. I'll show you how that. In next project, most of the important topics we are going to discuss. Okay. Now in this vars folder, you can see all the variables you can store in this main.yaml file. All these folders will have this main.yaml file, and this main.yaml file will contain all the tasks. What are the tasks you are going to execute? Or the informations, variables will be stored here. The task folder, all the tasks will be stored under this main level, right? On the meta directory, if I just go to the meta directory, all the meta informations, tag informations will be stored here, right? It will have one main.yaml. See, this is how the automatically we stored this, we created this role. But tomorrow next classes I'll show you how we can create these roles manually. I'll tell you, I'll just show you how the folder structures to be created and all these informations. Okay, so that's all guys for today's class, and don't forget to do practice. Just today, at least whatever we did, the small project, very small project we did, right? Just watch this video, try to note it down. Okay, don't do copy paste from everywhere, anywhere, right? Don't get copy paste from anywhere. Just write yourself first. At least first things you just write yourself. At least you once you write and do execute, you'll know, come to know what is being done, right? What are the things being executed? So whatever things I just told you, right? All this particular project, if you just go here, the login web app, you can find it here. Use Jenkins to build this project. Generate the this is one of the Java file and another Java applications also here. We have this web DevOps web DevOps. This is also 212 people have been forked this one, so you can also get this DevOps web. This is also one of the another Java applications and which you can use for this project also. You can use this to build in your Jenkins folder and then you can just use it for your project. Okay, and same time we have also uh, like a lot more projects are there. Don't worry, don't go through all these projects. You'll not know. Maybe once I just explain you, you will find it out. Okay, most of the things are public and private things are my private projects. Okay, that's all, guys, for today's class. We'll just meet up next weekend, and this that time we'll just cover the project, also how we can build it with the database implementations and everything. We'll see how can be done. The entire next class, the entire day, will just focus on the project itself. Okay, complete project with Ansible roles, Galaxy, creating roles with. Uh, Vault, right? How we can do that, and everything will store there. That's all, guys, for today's class. Let's see off and have a good weekend. Enjoy, but don't